The entire thing's crooked, but you know what? This is the first one after C2E2. We're just gonna deal with it, quite honestly. Anyway, welcome back to another episode of Last Week in Comics, where I tell you what happened the last week in comics. Booster heads, we have had a great week this week. Starting off in things I have read, we need to talk about the Summer of Superman special. Now, did I give a single fuck about anything else that happened in that comic? No, of course I didn't. But do you know what I didn't care about? The fact that we have Booster Gold back. Now, the funny story is, we're going to do a vlog eventually. We recorded everything for it. We just have to put it together. But, so me and Zach were at C2E2. We were at the DC Summer of Superman panel where they showed the preview pages for this book. And I think what's so funny about it is that me and Stack were sitting front row, Booster and Ted, okay? Being stared at by Tom King the entire panel. Being stared at by Thomas King the entire panel. But we were sitting there, front row as Booster and Ted. And the second that they showed the Dark Legion and mentioned them, Stack, screamed.
I did an excited little gasp.
Stack did an excited little gasp, which I think is funny, because also, after they said the Dark Legion, they also mentioned, we can't show the last page because it's spoilers, but, some people's favorites might show up. Mind you, front row, Booster and Ted. We were also at the panel last year. They did not notice us as much as they did this year, somehow, because we were in the front row this time, but I think we're kind of iconic. Anyway, yeah, Booster Gold's back. The big reveal at the end is that Booster Gold has been kidnapped by the Dark Legion. For what? Who knows? The entire issue, he's, trying to send out, a signal to, Superman and being like, hey, the world's gonna end! It's your time traveler friend, Booster Gold! But reminder, no one remembers him, which is why Ted Cord is, 10 times more annoying than he normally is. Maybe he's friends with Gnort or something. I don't know. I don't know what his deal is. He's barely been in books. The actual plot of the Summer of Superman special is Lana Lang and, John Henry Irons. Steel, aka Steel, are, getting married. Woohoo! We're doing a little history lesson about who Lana Lang is, because a lot of people don't know who Lana Lang is. I have found that out. And apparently she's gonna be in a couple books, since Mark Waid's doing, an official, Superboy when Superman was a boy origin. That was also announced at C2E2. We were there. We're gonna do a video on it. But I don't really give a shit about that, because Booster Gold's back. I've never felt more vindicated in my entire fucking life. Especially because, they could see us the entire panel, because we were staring at them. Tom King was looking at us. Tom King looks like a little freak in person, by the way. But we were also sitting in front of Dan Mora, and I love Dan Mora. And Dan Mora said hi to me at the beginning of the panel, and I was like, it's so funny to see this happen immediately after that panel. Also, in other C2E2 news, one of the storyboard artists from Young Justice took a picture of me and Stack, and I didn't know about it until it was posted on Blue Sky, and I went, oh shit, that's me. C2E2 is fun every single year. This is probably the first time I've gotten to, actually talk about it, because I meant to film something last year, and then I didn't. But we have a vlog now about it, because why not? I have to show that I can do social media so I can get free tickets to cons. Anyway, Summer Superman special. Booster Gold's back. Booster Gold also is rumored to appear in Superman issue 28, because that one's going to be Superman facing the Dark Legion. So, you know who kidnapped Booster? The Dark Legion. You know who's going to be in it? Booster Gold. Alright, enough about vapping about Booster Gold being back. Let's take a look at Zatanna issue 3. So, first off, again, Jamal Campbell. Literally one of the greatest artists at DC right now. Every single page flows so beautifully in this book. You can, he does a really good job at just, showcasing Zatanna's magic. apparently, so Zatanna's assistant has been being manipulated by Lady White, or the Lady in White? No, Lady White. And it seems like he is, like, kind of under the same, like, magical sword thing that she is. And also, like, the Blue Devil's being tortured. I don't know what the fuck's going on in this book anymore. I think I've lost the plot of the magic shit. Like, so bad. Anyway, so, like, the big battle against Clayface, looks amazing, by the way. I think that you should just read this book, because, like, again, I'm never doing this book justice when I talk about it, because, like, you just have to see the paneling for yourself. So, you know, at the beginning of each issue, we get, like, a storybook page kind of, like, explaining some of the background of things, and it seems to be a young Zatanna being told these stories by some woman. I assume it's her mother. It probably is her mother, let's be honest here. But at the end of the issue, Zatanna, like, repeats one of these stories to herself, or, like, at least the ending of it, as a part of her, like, magic before passing out, and it seems like some other voice is trying to talk to her. I think maybe for the first time we are going to see Zatanna Zatara's mother, and I think that's really interesting and really great. I hate how many moms are getting sidelined at DC. Lois Lane specifically, why is she the only one in the Summer of Superman who has not gotten at least one book? Like, even Jimmy Olsen got the fucking Super Encyclopedia, and they're reprinting his Fraction run. I think it's Matt Fraction who did his most recent, like, you know, Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen. But, like, so many women get sidelined at DC. I'm glad that we're adding more to the mix. I'm glad that we're getting this lore and this background about Zatanna and about her mother. And again, if you have never read a Zatanna book, this is, like, a great place to jump on. I also recommend the previous Zatanna mini, which is a part of DC's Black Label, Zatanna Bring Down the House by Mariko Tamaki and art by Javier Rodriguez. So if you really like Absolute Martian Manhunter 2, go check that book out. It has a lot of the same kind of artistic direction, which is probably also why I like Absolute Martian Manhunter, because I really do like Javier Rodriguez's art. Go read Zatanna by Jamal Campbell. I really hope that this book proves to DC that they should give her a full ongoing again. We haven't had one since, like, Paul Dini. That's crazy to me, because she is, like, DC's, like, premier magician. Like, their premier magic user. That's crazy. Okay, next in books that I did read. DC X Sonic the Hedgehog issue 2 came out. I don't know what the fuck's going on in this. I will be the first person to admit it, because I don't read Sonic like that. Go check out my mutual Humble Squid stuff. They get Sonic better than I do. Big plot. They are fighting against Darkseid to make sure that he does not get the Chaos Emerald. I'm still not sure how many emeralds there are. But, you know, they're like, oh, we gotta stop him before he goes supersonic. I don't know why I made them sound like that. The highlight of this book is the character interactions between the Sonic characters and the Justice League. I specifically really like the panel where Wonder Woman is sitting in the back of Amy's car. Like, sitting, like, on top of it, because of course she's too big to actually fit into a Sonic character's car. It was really adorable, and I really like it. I also like any panel with Tails on it. I love Tails. He's my baby boy. They fight Darkseid. Shadow calls him a weak-ass bitch. I'm not even joking. And then Darkseid's like, I'm not a weak-ass bitch. I'm the ultimate life form, bitch. This is my dramatic interpretation of what happened. And then, like, the big twist, or the big, well, we knew that this was happening, but the big shock is, oh no, we're getting sent to the DC universe, and the Justice League seemingly explodes, along with whatever planet Sonic's on. Is it Morbius? Is it Earth? I don't know at this point. Justice League seemingly dead, along with Darkseid. This comic is fucking, this is an all-ages comic. Well, no, all ages comics can't have death. Point being, didn't expect them to just kill the Justice League. I thought that they would just, like, kind of, like, swap places. Or, like, you know, Justice League gets stuck there, everyone else is, or the Sonic characters are sent to, Earth Prime. I know. They're apparently dead. And Mr. Terrific's like... Mr. Terrific is there at the end like, what the fuck are these colorful ass creatures?
You're a colorful bunch.
Huh? So I'm just really excited to see what direction this book goes into. As we know from a lot of the previews that, you know, they're all gonna, like, kind of, like, don the uniforms and take care of, you know, what the Justice League's been doing on Earth. And, my hopes for issue 3 are Shadow shoots the Joker. I don't think that they're gonna give Shadow a gun, but I think that he should use a gun. I think he should, like, have the grappling hook, not know what a grappling hook is, and then just shoot the Joker with it, thinking that it's, like, a regular gun. That's hope number 1. Hope number 2, Booster Gold shows up. This is a long shot. He's not gonna show up in anything. God, Summer of Superman has made me too greedy for Booster Gold appearances, apparently. Maybe because the Justice League is gone, we get some Justice League International members, you know, get a little Booster, get a little Ted. I'm starved for content right now of either of them. Starro appears. I don't know. I think it's a missed opportunity to not have the Sonic characters in, like, the Justice League uniforms, like, not have them recreate that, like, first Justice League appearance with Starro. I really like that cover. It's one of my favorites. I just like Starro in general. Remember when, like, I tried to rebrand as a Snapper car account when the Marvel boycott started? That was an insane time. DC X Sonic, it's always going to be a fun time. I'm glad that this miniseries exists. I want more. I want DC to cross over with more indie comics. I know that they cross over with Archie sometimes. They have. They have to have. They haven't in a while, but I do want more Archie crossovers. I do like Archie crossovers. I think that they're fun. Next up in books that I have read, The New Gods, featuring the New Gods. I still don't know what the fuck's going on in this book. Fucking Orion's boyfriend fucking dies. Light Ray. I think Light Ray and Orion should kiss, but that's a me problem. That's a me thing. Yeah, Light Ray fucking dies. They fucking kill Light Ray, which I don't... Again, the rule in comics is no one stays dead. But I did not open this book, like, expecting that to happen. Like, especially because the cover has the fucking Justice League on it, and, like, the Justice League don't show up. The Justice League don't show up. It's just Superman at the end to be like, no, Orion, don't kill this kid. What? What are you doing? Because, again, like, the entire thing is, like, Scott, like, trying to talk down Orion, and he's like, you don't have to do this, you know this, right, buddy? And it's like, you know he doesn't know. Again, with this book, I do wish Barda was in it more. Barda at least got to do some things. I don't think she said a single word. She maybe has, like, one speech bubble this entire time. So, Big Barda Nation, we are still suffering. Big Barda Nation's never gonna be free, let's be honest here. New Gods. New Gods. I love Ram V. I love Ram V. I do like a lot of his other... Oh, wait, shit. Yeah, there's also a forward... I forgot. There's also a forward in this book, kind of like, with, like, Light Ray being like, what's it like to die? But, like, there's a beginning... like a introduction, I would say. Like, I don't know. Done by, I think it is art by Junie Ba. And Stack cut this if it's not art by Junie Ba. But I'm pretty sure, because I know Junie Ba's art style, but it is gorgeous. And I really do like that. I like that opening. Wish that we could have gotten something like that in Birds of Prey before Barda died. But I guess she's not staying permanently dead like Light Ray probably is. They're gonna have to, like, reboot the universe after the absolute, shit, and, like, Light Ray's back. Or just the next writer who gets New Gods forgets about it. You know, that's how people get brought back in DC, apparently. But yeah, New Gods. It's still a good time. I I really enjoy Ramby's writing. I really enjoy the art direction that they're going in. I just don't know what's going on in it. Okay, so I very briefly read the new issue of Absolute Flash, too. There's a monkey at the end. I don't know what the fuck this monkey looks like a brainiac. I don't know enough about Flash for this. Like, okay, so with Absolute Flash, it seems like it seems like Wally fucking killed Barry and his dad in like his he gets the Speed Force and he fucking explodes everyone and he kills them. This feels like the ramblings of a madman this week. There's so many books, and I just don't know what's happening in any of them. Unlike some of the other Absolute books, like Batman and like Green Lantern, whereas like with Absolute Flash, the more I kind of look at it, the more I'm interested to see what the hell's going on. Because it is doing, like, a lot of, like, jumping towards the future and then the past. And, like, it's a mindfuck. It's mind-fucking time travel. And, you know what? I don't mind it. It seems like Wally is doing a lot of this, like, trial by fire. Like, a lot of the Absolute books that I'm, like, 100% sticking with, like Wonder Woman, like Superman, like Martian Manhunter, they, like, grabbed me at first, and so I wanted to keep reading it, but, like, with Absolute Flash, it didn't really grab me as much, but yet I still want to continue, because I kind of want to see, like, how everything's changing with this new, version of Wally, essentially. And also because I kind of do really like the redesigns of his villains. I think they're very cunty. I don't know. I think it's very interesting design choices. It's very militaristic, and it almost makes me think that after Wally essentially killed 2 government officials, now the government's after him and they sent this band of fuckos. Yeah. Absolute Flash. Like, it's not grabbing me in the same way that the other Absolute books have, but, like, I still want to continue reading it. And maybe it's just because Wally West looks like a butch lesbian. Okay, and there's another book I skimmed, but I don't want to, again, reminder, Tom King is a war criminal. You should not hate him because his books are bad, but because he has committed actual war crimes. He helped plan the Iraq invasion. He's very gleeful about the fact that he planned the Iraq invasion. And that's the only reason I'm talking about Wonder Woman today, because it contains a scene in it that feels very much like he's writing about the crimes that he has helped commit. Because they do an interrogation scene against the gods. And, like, Wonder Woman's, like, smashing bottles into, like, I don't know what that god's name is, but Zach's just gonna put up a picture of it. But she's, like, smashing bottles into his head and being like, rah, 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 it's Tom King's excuse to write Batman again. Like, and, oh, God, this book pisses me off. But, like, so, it's essentially Tom King just, like, admitting to his war crimes. Don't fucking buy this book. I've been saying this a lot. I'm going to make this statement clear. The only reason I was at that DC panel where Tom King was at was because I had already, I went to the DC panel last year. I like going to these DC panels. I like seeing a lot of the artists and writers that, I don't know enough about them personally to go visit them at their booths. But I like hearing them talk. Clayton Henry was there. I've seen his art before, but, hearing him talk about his design process, how he relates to Superman, how he relates to, the whole immigrant experience with Superman, that's the kind of shit that you don't get at, their booths. That's why I was at that panel. Also because I thought Joelle James was going to be there. She was not. I don't know why the fuck she canceled last minute, but I can say with the fact that suddenly everything about Thomas King makes sense when you hear him speak in person, and it sounds like a fucking 12-year-old. It sounds like an edgy 12-year-old. Oh, Supergirl's so boring. Wonder Woman's so boring. Women suck. Like, that's how he fucking talks. Like, that's not even, like, an exaggeration on my point. I have to save this for the C2E2 vlog, though, because I am, like, I film a lot of things in, like, chunks, and I'm filming this after this video. When you hear him speak in person, everything about him makes sense. He is an edgy 12-year-old stuck in a grown adult man's body. Especially when you fucking see that he's just doing the fucking 9-panel Watchmen thing the entire time. And he's like, oh, I want to write Batman. Let me put Batman in this book because he's the world's greatest detective. Oh, I'm going to put Batman in this book and I'm going to make Wonder Woman and Batman kiss. Because I'm using Wonder Woman as a self-insert. That is actually what he's doing. Like, him and, like, the other Thomas Taylor, like, they're using, like, women as self-inserts to kiss Batman. And this is really weird trend at DC. I don't know what the fuck's going on anymore. I've expelled too much energy on this. Tom King's Wonder Woman sucks. They added Superbat in there to hopefully bring back, fucking readers. King off Wonder Woman. King off of DC. Get that fucking man out of there. I never want to see his face again. He genuinely threw off the entire vibe of that panel. Like, I'm going to talk about it in the C2E2 video, but I'm doing a little preview right here. The fucking editor who was there, who was moderating the panel, asked him about Supergirl, and he went, well, I thought Supergirl was boring. I thought she was just a copy of Clark until Steve Orlando had to tell me otherwise. It's like, why the fuck are you admitting this? Obviously, everyone's seen the quote about how, oh, Steve Orlando had to tell me that she has trauma because I don't read comics because I'm Thomas King. I can't believe I also had to break the news on Twitter because apparently Popverse, who runs a lot of these panels, cut the part of the quote where he said that Supergirl was boring. And also the cursing at the end. Like, they were trying to make him look good, and I was like, no. That's not what happened. Stack, bring up the Dakota Johnson Ellen clip.
Actually, no, that's not the truth, Ellen.
Tom King off of DC. I feel really bad for Dan Mora, who had to sit in the same room as him. And Clayton Henry, who had to sit in the same room as him. Go check out Clayton Henry's art. He's very active on Instagram. Like, he posts, like, sketches and all that kind of shit. It's some good fucking art. Anyway, now on to the books that I didn't read. Because, again, I can't read every book that comes out. Okay, so we have another issue of Absolute Superman, World's Finest. Again, I think Dan Mora is still on the covers, but I don't know if he's on the book. So we are actually starting the We Are Yesterday kind of event that's going to go on. Where Mark Waid gets to basically reinvent the Golden Age. If you didn't know, it's going to be a crossover between Batman, Superman, World's Finest, Justice League Unlimited, and there's a third book, and I think it's the other history of not the other history of the DC universe. That's a different book that you should go read. But the new Golden Age book. And this one has a monkey in it. This one has a gorilla in it, which means it's good. Because that's my judgment for comics. I'm excited for this event. I think it's going to be fun. I'm probably not going to keep up with it because I'm bad at keeping up with events. But I am going to read the new history of the DC universe. Then we have Detective Comics 1096 by the other Tom. Tom Taylor's kind of weird, but I would probably take like 10 of his books over one of King's, you know? That's the least I can say about him. Oh, fuck, they put Babs back in the Batgirl suit.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
At least Stephanie's in it. And, oh, Duke Thomas cameo. He's not in it. He's not saying a single word, but he's in it. And that's the most that you can ask for as a Duke Thomas fan. Go buy the new Power Company book. Duke's in it. I'm excited for it. Next up is Catwoman number 75. Honestly, I might need to start reading Catwoman. Just based on this cover alone, I don't know. I like noir comics. I like comics going into different, like, types of stories that, like, aren't typically just, like, superhero, and I think that kind of vibe fits Catwoman quite well, so I'm glad that they're, like, kind of experimenting with it. I don't know. It seems like a fun time. And apparently there's lesbians in it. I don't know what Daystar talks about half the time. Next on things that came out this week, Challengers of the Unknown #5. Stack's been really enjoying this book. Stack is giving a thumbs up. It's no Time Masters. I'll say that. Go read Time Masters 1990.
You might not like it, but this is what the peak male athletic form looks like, and there ain't a fucking thing you can do about it.
I'm glad that more obscure teams like this get books. However, if the whole like centering around Booster Gold that the All-In specials are doing does not result in another Time Masters mini, I'm gonna have to fight someone. Next up, Nightwing 125. He's fighting lesbians? That's a cop. That's a joke. I think all the Nightwing fans have been pretty much satisfied by this book. I don't think a single person has been really like complaining about it, which is nice. I like that the Nightwing fans can just live in peace now that Tom Taylor is on Detective Comics. It's gonna be really funny when he gets moved to Batman. Okay, so, Titans number 22. So if you didn't know, pretty soon, Titans is bringing back Tara. Well, no, they just brought back Tara. Apparently, there was some messy romance stuff that happened in it a couple issues ago. But now they're bringing back Deathstroke. I need DC to realize that, like, Deathstroke / Slade Wilson, whatever the fuck you guys think of him as, he's a fucking pedophile, and we should not be bringing him back because, oh, he has a cool design. His daughter Rose has a better design, and she's not a pedophile. I don't know, can we not bring back Deathstroke? I'm tired of him. He should be one of those characters who's lost to time, and he's not, and I hate it, because, like, again, no other writer is ever going to admit that whoever the fuck wrote the Judas Contract couldn't even admit that Tara was a victim in all of this. What makes you think that, like, any other writer is going to even touch that with a 10-foot pole nowadays? Which is why Slade should just go away forever. We have his kids are cooler, his kids actually have fans. And I know that we're just bringing back Slade for the fucking aesthetic. Anyway, Titans should be, like, a messy, like, drama book. That's all I'm saying. We don't need Slade. Alright, now on to the indie comics. Okay, so first up from Image. We have another silent mission, from G.I. Joe American Hero. This one is called Spirit. I'm enjoying these. There's just something so magical about, like, comics without words. It's also Witchblade. Taser's gonna have a day with that. Okay, really, I just want to jump to IDW because IDW put out some bangers this week. There's Mothra, Queen of the Monsters, #2. So if you're not following this book, there's lesbians in it. Because again, Mothra is actually Queen of the Lesbians. I expect Stack to put up a really funny graphic right here. You better put up a funny graphic. Anyway, Mothra, Queen of the Monsters. Lesbians. Mothra, Queen of the Lesbians. We got the lesbians and Mothra back. Go read it. Okay, so, like, a Star Trek book, Star Trek Defiant, came out in, like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Okay, whatever. We need to talk about Godzilla versus Chicago. Stack was reading it while I was recording this. Stack has pulled me aside, like, 2 separate times to talk about this fucking book. Stack, can you come over here and describe it?
Okay, so Godzilla vs. Chicago is, I guess, like, in a series where it's going to be Godzilla versus a bunch of different American cities. And so it's a collection of 4 short stories. And most of them, like, 3 of them are really funny. And one of the funny ones is, like, a little bit heartfelt, but it's, like, still mostly funny. And then one is, like, a really good social commentary that, like, gets Godzilla. Like, gets what Godzilla was originally about, which is colonialism and, like, American, like, destroying things for their own personal benefit. Godzilla as, like, a force of nature, as a force of oppression. Really, really fucking good. But, like, the other 3 stories are so funny. They're so funny. The first one is, I don't want to tell you too much because the jokes are so good. You need to read this. It's hilarious. It's so good, and they all have like very unique art, and it's really gorgeous. It's really good. This is the funniest comic I've read in a long time, and it's also like one of the best comics I've read in a long time. It's so good. Buy this book. I'm so excited. I'm gonna read the rest in the series, but I love Chicago. And so seeing it destroyed
in Chicago.
Yeah, seeing it destroyed by Godzilla, what an honor. What a gift. It's amazing. I would love to see it. Oh my gosh. He didn't flick the bean though. Godzilla should have flicked the bean. That was like the one that would have been like a really good bit for them to do, but they didn't do it. Next time. Someone get on that. Someone draw fan art of Godzilla going to the bean, and the bean just goes whoosh. It'd be great. It'd be great.
Now that we're done with the indies, let's go on to some of the announcements that happened this week, because there was a couple of them. I know I wasn't actually going to talk about the Superman movie because I don't believe in adaptations anymore. I think that they suck. And I hate James Gunn. So, there is something really cool, and I can admit it because I do think that David Cornsweet is a very good Superman choice. I am very glad that we have a Jewish actor playing Superman. The more important thing is that, so they're doing a bunch of Superman movie variants for July. But the important thing is Dan Jurgens is back on Superman. Woo! Dan Jurgens is doing one of the variant covers. He is specifically doing the one for Action Comics 1087, which is great. I'm glad that we have Dan Jurgens back. But also, Dan Jurgens is going to be on the Superman Treasury Edition. I'm just really glad to see him back on Superman because that means that there is, like, a non-net zero chance that Booster Gold's gonna be in it. Because, reminder, DC does this weird thing with certain characters where only certain writers are allowed to write them. Joanne Starter has now kind of taken control of Fire and Ice for the most part. Dan Jurgens, obviously, is their main writer for Booster Gold. Luckily, Jaime does not have this curse, so we have the possibility for more books. But again, Dan Jurgens is back on Superman. I hope that Superman beats the shit out of Booster Gold. That's what I want. Dan Jurgens is in charge of Superman Treasury Edition, which means I'm fucking buying it. I need Peepaw to retire, but like, I'm glad that he's back writing comics, mostly because that means that there's a chance that Booster Gold will show up. That's it for another episode of Last Week in Comics. Up here is going to be your next recommended video. Maybe it's our C2E2 blog. Maybe it's an episode of Ash and Their Fantastic Friends, my live show I do every Saturday, 9 p.m. EST. Maybe it's a different thing. I don't know what they put up there. Maybe it's a YouTube short. Down here is going to be the rest of the playlist for Last Week in Comics. So if you want to see what I've been doing for the past like 22 weeks at this point, it's going to be insane when I hit 52 weeks. But if you want to see what I've been doing for the last 22 weeks, go check it out. I don't know why, but the last one I did where I said that comic book fans hate women got like an insane amount of views just like all of a sudden. It's kind of crazy. I don't like that. I like my view counts to make sense, okay? I don't like really massive surges. That's why I hate Twitter, because sometimes I'll just shit post and then it blows up and I hate it. Over here is going to be the button so you can subscribe. And be notified when I make my videos about collecting comics or other things. The Wyatt Wingfoot video essay, which I still have to fucking write. Jesus fucking Christ. I have to do research into Jim Thorpe. Like, I think I'm going insane about that thing. Other stuff that I'm going to be doing. I'm still going to be doing Last Week in Comics. The show is permanent now. I didn't expect it to be, but now it is. And then down in the description, my other social medias, if you find me on YouTube only, subscribe, like, comment, share, whatever. I don't know how to do YouTube still. I've been doing this for a while and I still don't know. Anyway, and cut.